Hey guys, this is Andrew with rockclass101.com, and in this week's ukulele lesson, Evan's going to be teaching you a rock-inspired song that we co-wrote. And what's cool about it is that you get to work on the best of both playing styles, rhythm playing and lead playing. So let's take a few minutes just to talk about the form of this tune, because it's a little bit unique. So this song follows a 12-bar format, kind of like a 12-bar blues does. Now, for this tune, you're going to be playing melody A for the first 8 bars, and then you're playing melody B for the next 4 bars. So that gives you 12 bars total. Those 12 bars are going to get repeated. So the entire song is 24 bars in length. Now here's what's cool about this song. The first time through the form, so those first 12 bars, you're playing nothing but rhythm. The second time through the form, the second 12 bars, you're going to introduce a solo. Now, here is what is great about this. If you're not into soloing, you don't want to do any lead playing, you can just play the same thing you did for the first 12 bars, the second 12 bars. So you can turn this song into an entire rhythmic piece. But if you're into learning solos and you want to work on your lead playing chops, then you'll be in for fun. So, with that in mind, let's take a step back and let's talk a little bit about this lesson. Now, for this lesson, we're going to split it in half. So, the part 1 lesson, which is this video, Evan's going to be teaching you the first time through the form. So, what he plays for those first 12 bars. If you want to learn what he does for the second time through, the second 12 bars where he takes that solo, he's going to be teaching that in the part 2 lesson, which you can watch by clicking this link or going to the site rockclass101.com and doing a search for EP019. That is the lesson number for this lesson. Don't forget too, on that page is the tabs that you can print off to follow along with, plus the really cool interactive on-screen tab viewer. Now this is a great feature where you can hit play, you can watch the tab scroll across in real time, you can highlight bars to loop sections, slow it down to any speed you wish. Just a great asset in learning this song that much easier. And last but not least, we are going to have backing tracks available for download. So I'm going to go ahead and upload a 100% speed MP3, a 75% speed MP3, and if you can feel the beat, I'll upload a 50% speed MP3 as well. So once you learn how to play the ukulele parts, you can rock out with the band at home. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Evan to teach you how to play this, and I'll catch you at the end of the video.
Hey everyone, I'm Evan, and I'll be teaching today's Part 1 lesson on Concept Lesson Episode 19, where we'll be playing a hard rock riff and solo. Now, before we get started, I'd like to mention that this piece uses both fingerpicking and strumming. For fingerpicking, the 4-finger approach works best, where each finger gets its own string, or the 3-finger approach, where the thumb gets the top 2 strings, the index and middle get the bottom 2 strings. Now on top of that, I'd like to go through the strumming techniques for the right hand. It's basic down and up strumming with just a handful of muted strums. For the muted strums, just lightly place your left hand over the strings and strum, and you'll get that nice muted sound. And finally, this song has us playing out of 16th note strum patterns. So when you see one of them, you'd want to use the golden rule of thumb, which is that you strum down on the subdivisions 1, 2, 3, 4, and the ends between the downbeats. Then you strum up on the E's and the A's. So that means 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Alright, now let's get started on measure 1. Here's how it sounds like. Now if I count it out for you rhythmically, it is 1, 2 and a 4 E and a. So that's the subdivisions of the rhythm. I'll count it out whilst playing it again. 1, 2 and a 4 E and a. Alright, so we start with the A5 chord, index on the 2nd fret of the G string, ring finger on the 4th fret of the C string. Do a down strum. Then do another down strum, pluck the top string, and an upward strum on the same chord. Moving on, pluck the open A string. Ring finger goes to the 3rd fret on that string. Pluck that. Then pull off back to the open A. And then the ring finger goes onto the 3rd fret of the E string. Pluck that. And same thing, pull off into the open E string. Alright, now let's try measure 1 together. Ready? 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and a 4 and a. Alright, now let's move on to measure 2. Here's how it sounds like. Now if I count it out for you, rhythmically, it is 1, 2 and a 3 and 4 and a. So if I play along to my counting, this is how it should sound like. 1, 2 and a 3 and 4 and a. So we start with the D major chord, 2nd frets on the top 3 strings with your index, middle, and ring finger respectively. Now first pluck the C and E strings. Then do a down strum hitting all 4 strings. Then go ahead and play 3 muted strums, down, up, down, followed by the G chord, index, 2nd fret on the C string, ring on the 3rd fret of the E string, and middle on the 2nd fret of the last string. Do an upward strum, then down, up, and lastly another down up motion, but this time with muted strums. Alright, now let's try measure 2 together slowly. 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and a 3 and 4 and a. Alright, now let's try both measures 1 and 2 together. Now there is actually a repeat sign, which means in the actual song, you repeat the section 2 times through. But for this play along, we'll only go through the section 1 time. Ready? Slowly. 3, 4. Alright, now let's move on to measure 3. Here's how it sounds like. Now if I count that out for you, rhythmically, it is 1E and a 2E and a 4E and a. So if I play along to that counting, this is how it should sound like. 1E and a 2E and a 4E and a. Alright, now we start with the same A5 chord, index on the 2nd, ring on the 4th fret of the C string. Strumming pattern goes like this. Down, up, mute, up, down, up, mute, up. Let's try that. Down, up, mute, up, down, up, mute, up. Slowly. 3, 4. Down, up, mute, up, down, up, mute, up. Alright, now the next part is just the same melody line that we already learned in measure 1, this part. So we'll skip that. And now let's try measure 3 together. Ready? 3, 4. Down, up, mute, up, down, up, mute, up. Alright, now let's move on to measure 4. You'll notice that it's actually the same as measure 2, so we'll skip that. Now let's do a play along of measures 3 and 4 together. Ready? 3, 4. Alright, now let's move on to measures 5 and 6. You'll notice that they're actually the same as measures 1 and 2, so we'll skip that as well. And now that we've learned the entire melody A rhythm section, let's do the play along of the entire section together. Ready? 3, 4. All right, now let's get started on melody B. Now, if you take a look at measure 7, it repeats 3 times in a row. So here's what measure 7 sounds like. Now, if I count it out for you rhythmically, it is 1 and a 2 En, 3 En, 4 En a. So if I go ahead and play along to that counting, it should sound like this. 1 and a, 2 En, 3 En, 4 En a. So we start with the inverted D major chord, barring the 5th frets of the bottom 2 strings with your index finger, your middle on the 6th fret of the C string, and your ring on the 7th fret of the G string. Do a down strum, then down strum again, but muted this time. Then move the exact same chord shape down 2 frets to the 3rd fret here, and do an upward strum. Then do 2 muted strums, down up, and finally back to the same A5 chord that we learned earlier with a down strum. Then pluck the top string, do an upward strum, still in the same chord, and pluck the top string once more. Then finally finish it off with a down up motion with the last 2 strums being muted, like so. Down up, mute, mute. Down up, mute. Alright, now let's try playing through measure 7 with the repeat of 3 cycles. Ready? 3 and 4 and. Alright, now let's move on to measure 8. This is how it sounds like. Now if I count it out for you rhythmically, it is 1 and 2 and 3. Just 5 down strums on the E5 chord, barring the 4th frets and adding your ring and pinky finger to the 7th frets of the bottom 2 strings, like so. 1 and 2 and 3. Simple as that. Now let's try that together. 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3. Alright, now let's do a play along of measures 7 and 8 together with the repeats of the 3 cycles on measure 7. Ready? 3, 4. Alright, congratulations on finishing the first part of Concept Lesson Episode 19. For the Part 2 lesson, head over to rockclass101.com and I'll see you there. Bye.
Alright guys, so a big congrats on learning the first half of this tune. If you'd like to learn the second half, which starts off with Evan teaching you that sweet solo that he plays, he's going to be teaching that in the Part 2 lesson, which you can watch by clicking that link right there, or going to the site rockclass101.com and doing a search for EP019. That is the lesson number for this lesson. Don't forget too, on that page we will have tabs that you can print off to keep for your records, plus that really cool interactive on-screen tab viewer, so you can literally hit play, watch that tab scroll across in real time, highlight bars, loop sections, slow it down, all that fun jazz, and last but not least, backing tracks. So I'll be uploading 100% speed, a 75% speed, and if you can feel the beat, I'll upload a 50% speed MP3 as well. So guys, I hope you enjoyed learning the first half of this tune. We'll catch you in the second half. Take care.